Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Singapore Homebrew on Money FM 89.3.
All right, the National Arts Council, the NAC, celebrated a big milestone in Singapore's arts philanthropy with the recent Patron of the Arts Awards, the POAA as it's called. This year, the awards honored 515 patrons. It is the highest number of awardees in the past 5 years for their contributions to the arts in Singapore. Let's talk about this more with Sam Lay, the Director of Strategic Partnerships and Engagements at the National Arts Council, and Richard Tan, one of those distinguished patrons of the arts, for his donation toward the Singapore Repertory Theatre. Sam and Richard, great to have you in the studio with us today. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Great, and welcome to you, Richard.
Thank you.
Just give us an overview, Sam. Kick things off. What are the Patron of the Arts Awards?
Well, thanks for having me, and to share this with your listeners as well. I'm Sam from NAC. So, Patron of the Arts Awards has been started since 1983, and this is actually for this year is the 42nd edition of POAA. We're very, very heartened. I mean, the event itself represents the highest accolade, the highest celebration for arts patronage, and it grew from strength to strength. From the original in 1983, we were recognizing 4 of them. Around 2021, around I would say 200 plus, and this year we have a record of 515. So you could see patronage increasing. You can see the different trends of there are more new donors coming into the picture to contribute to the art. So I would say from the Arts Council perspective, we are very heartened by that, and I think the next milestone will be very much looking at how do we grow from here. Which are the areas that we could actually encourage more patrons, that will come in consistently to support the arts, like Richard. Yeah.
And that's a great point, Sam. And we're going to come back to you and talk with you a little bit more about that. But I do want to bring in Richard Tan, Distinguished Patron of the Arts. Richard, welcome to the show. Congratulations on this distinction for yourself. Tell us a little bit about your personal interests in wanting to contribute to the arts in the way that you have. Why is it important for you?
Okay, thank you, Glenn and Nell. Basically, building is my craft, but bringing people together through arts and sports is my purpose. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, and how have you brought people in through arts and sports?
It's the engagement. Engagement, like for example, sports is very easy. You play the sports. Like for arts, you go and visit a show. And for me, building the show is more than just building. It tells a story and the challenge that it comes with the building that makes you feel very fulfilling.
Sam, what is it that Richard did that impressed you so much? And that leads to a broader question is, what are you looking for when you give out these awards?
Thank you. And we were chatting just before the show with Richard, right? And what really touches my heart a little bit and really validates what we do in NAC is that it is not just a one-time support. Richard's support for the arts go a long way, and it's very consistent. He has been supporting the arts groups for a long time, and I thought this was something that's very golden. And we are trying to encourage also patronage at that level as well, as to not just see it as one time off, but we want to be involved. And I think for Patron of the Arts Awards, it plays a few angles to it. I think if you look at what it does for the arts groups itself, it gives them a platform to recognize, to celebrate patronage, for them to really engage their patrons. For the patrons themselves, it's a very good avenue or a very platform also for them to speak to fellow givers to the arts, and hence also encourage other givers to come into the picture. Yeah. And for NAC, of course, it's we want to encourage the spirit of giving. Yeah.
Richard, how is that? Are you also talking to your friends, your kakis, about, hey, maybe they should do a little something as well to help their favorite charity, whatever it may be?
Actually, for donations and all that, over the years, I realized that there's 2 types of donation. Once you go to dinner, you donate. And the other type is which I'm doing it for the arts and sports. I'm doing it for the last 10 years.
Wow.
So it becomes like a pledge, like you're religious. So it's a pledge, yearly pledge that you want to donate X amount. Yeah. And like what Sam has said, platform. SRT has given me the platform of me performing in terms of building, Building is my craft, is my work, and that's why we are together. And because, for arts, you always need funding. So if you need to donate, you must donate to people who need it, people who you knows. And for me, sports and arts is very important.
Why was SRT one of your target donations? Is there some connection that you had with SRT?
It's a long relationship dated from 1995.
Wow.
Yes, so it's just a friendship. And I think life is about friendships, and they gave me the platform, like what Sam has said, platform. And we have done big sets like Forbidden City, LKY set. We even did one set for the Shakespeare.
Right.
We do a lot of
That was
Shakespeare.
beautiful.
All the Shakespeare in the park is done by us.
Wow.
And we did one with Sir Ian McCallum, which is King Lear.
I remember that.
Yes,
I remember
yes,
that.
that one is Royal Shakespeare Company, which is very, 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 very good set. And that one is a world record for me.
Yeah.
I still remember meeting Sir Ian McCallum.
Yeah.
He said when he heard that it's a local producer production, he almost fall off his chair.
He was so impressed, huh?
No. He fall off his chair, he's short of telling them I'm not performing on a crab set.
Oh.
So when he saw our set, he was rather impressed. In fact, he was impressed. And we did not only for Singapore, we did the Auckland and Australian set. So that was an achievement that I think you can't forget.
We had Gaurav Kripalani on the
Yes.
show just a few weeks ago, and he's been a friend of the show for
Yep.
years now.
And-
We've had
and
him
he's-
on many times, and especially during COVID time,
Yes.
all of the arts were having so much trouble. So, I know that he is always thanking his sponsors and his patrons. I would assume you're among that group as well.
Yes.
But what are you seeing in let's say the past 10 years that you have been giving? Are you seeing a rise in individuals and corporates in Singapore feeling like they should be doing more of this? They should be supporting our arts and our sports more? Is that level rising?
I've seen it rising, but not to the pace where our country progress. So it's not fast enough. So I hope that, but talking to Sam, it has to be real. You have to do it because of passion. You can't do this because you want to donate this year and next year, and so it's like every day we need to eat. It has to be very consistent, and I want to do it and hope more people can come on board and becomes the DNA. That will be my ultimate wish.
Sam, this is a really important point that Richard makes, because I'm involved with the Jane Goodall Institute and conservation, and you find that as you correctly mentioned, Richard, you'll have your gala dinner and you'll raise a big sum of money. I was at the Acres one recently, same thing. And then the issue kind of goes away again. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. People who attend gala dinners, they give money, they auction. Fantastic. No one is disputing that. But it's not enough, is it, for the arts, the sports, conservation, whatever. You need that consistency. So how does the awards help you to try to build that public awareness that, hey, we need this money all year round?
Go ahead, Sam.
I think Neil, you rightly pointed it out. The award itself is a very strong platform, and it allows us to sort of recognize the champions of the arts, the people that really contributes to it. But it also sort of allows us to set the stage up for future collaborations, future contributions, encourage people to come in. I think that. In the longer term, what we are also looking at is for our arts groups to develop that very strong patron arts groups relationship, which allows them to go further. Aside from that, right, we are looking also, I think this year's POAA, aside from recognizing cash contributions and all that, we are looking at other in-kind support that's provided by businesses like Richard's and
Such as
I think we recognize the services that they provide: legal services, professional services, marketing services, spaces, and all that. So even sometimes a loan of artworks and all that. So I think we are looking at a more comprehensive type of support, which sometimes go beyond just cash donation for maybe a single purpose, but it looks into the day-to-day operations. How do we help to keep a certain arts groups, look at their operations? How do we support their operations so that they could continue to go on and do what they do best, making art?
Yeah. We're talking with Sam Lay, the Director of Strategic Partnerships and Engagements at the National Arts Council, and Richard Tan, a distinguished patron of the arts. Sam, just staying with you, I believe the information I saw, there was something like 28 million, total of $45 million in contributions recognized this year in your awards. 28 million were cash, 17 million in kind. I hear your point just a moment ago about the in kind is so important, but many organizations need cash. They need, they have to pay their bill, their electricity bill, their staffing bills. Does the National Arts Council sort of, kind of push a little bit more toward the cash donations versus the in-kind? Or I'm sure that's a tricky balance that you have to play in asking for donations. But cash is king, right, as they say?
Absolutely. I think cash donation is very important because it fuels the operations. It really funds the projects and all that. And we recognize that is very important. And to be fair, the ecosystem, Singapore as a society has a lot of heart. We are looking at corporates coming in, patrons coming in, individuals coming in, right? So I think the resources are there. And like you said, I think it's a balance because increasingly sometimes we are also looking at not just cash requirements that the arts groups have. There is also looking at affordability of certain resources. There's also looking at, sometimes it's really marketing services or advisory that they need. So I would say the needs are very diverse. And if I purely sort of just put it to cash, it wouldn't be fair. And I would say we now greedy, I would say we need a lot of everything.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Interesting point about allocation of funds. I always say that in conservation, if every animal looked like a panda, we'd be fine because it's very cute, right? And if every production was Ian McKellen, we'd be fine, right? Yes. You'd be queuing up with... We know the reality is somewhat different. You need to finance those fringe productions or the ballet company or whatever it may be. How do you do that? Because the arts is so broad and you need money in so many different areas. How do you get funds for the productions that don't have Ian McKellen? Yes.
So I think we have a wide variety of funding options and all that. And as National Arts Council, as the government, we do provide a fair amount of grant support for projects, to look at operations and all that. But what we are also within NAC, and my department actually runs another fund called the Sustain the Arts Fund, START Fund, and that sort of is a privately run fund. So basically, we are encouraging private donors come in. Secretariat is by NAC, and we manage that, and we are looking at resources in there to then sort of fund programs as well. So there's a different baskets of resources and cash and fundings that we are trying to utilize to support the arts in a much greater way.
Very interesting. We are going to give the last word to you, Richard, and this year's Patron of the Arts Award. You are a patron. Congratulations on that. I noted that, according to the National Arts Council, this year there were 412 patrons recognized. 155 were first-time donors, which is a great achievement. What are your own thoughts on how to increase more philanthropy so that next year there's even more first-time givers and repeat givers as well? What do you what would you say to your fellow patron lovers of the arts and sports?
Honestly, I don't have an answer for that.
How do you encourage them to get involved, though, just from your own experience?
I think if put it for myself in the Arts Council perspective, in order to be sustainable, you cannot be pushed, or it has to comes naturally. And of course, they need donors all around. So the only way, to me, my thought is that if we have good set, good product, the donors will come naturally. And that is what Sam and I was talking just now, and how to do it professionally so that the thing will just flows in naturally, rather than every day you need funding, and that will never end. So if you have good production and if you have good management, I think I'm hoping really that like Ian McKellen himself, for $400 the ticket is sold out in half an hour. And that was a record, but that is not possible. But at least given the set that we have in Shakespeare in the Park, is you can see that every evening the fields are full. So that is quite satisfying for me as a builder. So because I think what we need to do, like with Gaurav and Charlotte, we always say that we must build, even though it's very costly in Singapore. And the set that we built, you can see that it
has to be quality.
Yes, it has to be quality. You cannot save on because you have no budget, and that is what I'm saying about professionalism. So you have professionalism like the country which is very well run, people will come. But if the country is crap, nobody will want to come. Let's face it, it's a matter of fact, right? So this is something that I think, I hope that with more money, NAC or Art Council, they can do better or we can do better so that we can have more people coming. So it becomes a natural system.
Awesome. Gentlemen, we have to leave it there, but thank you to Sam Lay from the National Arts Council and Richard Tan, Distinguished Patron of the Arts. Great to have you with us, and let's hope this story keeps evolving and getting better and better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.